Good morning, guys. This is the first day of our 4 weeks to shred video series, and we're in my native country of Wales. Just a couple of weeks ago, or 3 weeks ago, we were in India in the heat, and now you can see I'm wrapped up because we're in the winter, or autumn I should say, of Wales. How's it going, brother?
Hello, mate.
Good to see you, mate. It's been a long time.
Long time, mate.
You're right.
Mate, yeah.
This is Dave. This is the owner of Peak Physique. Now, as I said, whenever I come back to Wales, and especially down to Cardiff, there's a good reason why I come down here. How long has it been now that you've had this place?
20 years this Christmas.
20 years? Like,
yeah, from scratch, yeah.
Has it gone quick?
Parts of it have, yeah. Yeah, I suppose you could say it's gone quick. You look back 20 years, it's a long time. Yeah, it's gone quick. It's been enjoyable.
Alright, well, it's good to be back here, brother. Like, you know, like training. Well, you know, I've been training in some pretty good gyms, but what is great about this place is that you've got different rooms dedicated for different body parts and stuff like that. So this is going to be my home now for the next 4 weeks. Like, if you don't mind having us.
No, yeah, you carry on.
Alright, we'll get on in there.
Yeah, good luck.
Alright, thanks, brother. Cheers, mate. A lot of the things that I'm going to do today is going to be reversed because I really want to target the lats, and you know, I've got all these toys available to me, then why not? You know, if you haven't got one of these hammer strength pull downs in your gym, then you just use a conventional lat pull down with a reverse grip. I wanted to really target our lats because we want to accentuate our lats in order to create the illusion of a narrow waist. So straight after the set, make sure that you contract your lats as hard as you can, as if you're hitting a lat spread like what bodybuilders do on stage. Because remember, what we're trying to do is improve that neuromuscular pathway to the muscles so we can better contract the muscles when we're actually working it. What we did today is a little bit different what we'll be following throughout the rest of the week, where we hit 5 repetitions for the first set, and then 10 you know, with our drop, and then our third would be 15. Normally it would be 10, 20, 30. The reason being is because I didn't want any time under tension to take away from our back and put more stress onto our grip strength, our forearms and our biceps. So what we did with the first exercise was performed 5 repetitions to absolute failure, rested for 5 seconds. On the second set we did 5 repetitions and rested for 5 seconds, and then did 10 repetitions. And then on the third set we did 5 repetitions to failure, rest 5 seconds, and then 10 repetitions, rested for 10, and then finished with 15 repetitions on our third drop set there. So it was good, it was tough, but you know, it didn't take too much onto our biceps and our forearms, and we followed that exact pattern on every single exercise. Once we did the reverse pull down, we moved on to the lat pull down, and we used a neutral grip there, just to make sure that we target a little bit more of the inner lats towards the traps. And we performed the same drop set style as we did previously, which is a DTP extreme movement, obviously, and we call them DTP extreme reverse pyramid sets, because we start with the heaviest and we work down and replicate in our rest periods with the repetitions that we've just completed. Using a neutral grip here, so your palms are facing each other. You can do this on like a bar that I've got here, or you can have 2 handles together, and making sure when you're coming down that you're sticking your chest up so you can contract your shoulder blades. Third and final set now. Reach failure again at 5, rest 5 seconds. Reach failure at 10, rest for 10 seconds. Strip the weight down again and finish with 15. Our third exercise then was another reverse grip exercise. Now the reason why we're doing reverse, because I really wanted to target the lats, was a reverse row. Again, this was on a hammer machine. We followed the same pattern of our 3 sets there, the first being 1 set, the second being a drop set, and then third being a couple of drop sets, having 3 total within that third set. So even though the traps are involved, I could really feel the lats in as well, especially the lower tie-in of the lats. You'll feel there, making sure that your elbows are kind of pointing down and back. You get a good contraction for a second. There's probably a little bit light that I just went down. We moved from there to a heavier sort of a compound movement, which was our T-bar rows. Now, because you'll be a little bit weaker now, because we've performed the other movements on the machine, pay close attention to your form when you're performing this exercise. Make sure your back is absolutely flat and static. Do not swing the weight too much. Make sure that you contract at the top of the movement. If you can't contract at the top of the movement, it means that you must have used assisting muscles, i.e. your biceps, to bring that weight up. If you can't do a T-bar row, you can use a bent over row with a narrow grip. Now remember, because we're finishing on like a compound movement where we're using a lot of core stabilizers, and you have to make sure that your back is perfectly flat. Don't round it out. Take particular attention on your form. Once we've done that, back was completed and we moved on to biceps. We did 2 exercises for biceps, bi meaning 2, so we only needed to do 2 exercises to target those muscle groups. So we started with the preacher machine there, because that's a nice strict movement, again making sure that we get a good contraction at the top, and we reached failure at 5 repetitions, rested for about 40 seconds or so, because we don't need as much rest on a smaller muscle group as we did on a larger group like back. Once we rested for about 40 seconds, we did 5 repetitions, stripped the weight after a 5-second rest, and then performed 10 repetitions. Third set, we did 5 repetitions, rested for 5 seconds, 10 reps, rested for 10, and then finished with 15. And then we did the exact same principle on the standing cable curl there. You'll notice that I started off with a V-bar handle, but after the first set it was apparent that that was too uncomfortable on the wrists and hand, so I just went straight to a flat conventional method, which is great because as I'm doing this along with you, I can instinctively adapt and hopefully pave the way for you as well. And then we were completed there. I did my cardio, had my post-workout shake, went onto the Stairmaster for 30 minutes, sweated it out, and now I'm just gonna make sure go and get some work done, get all the meals in, and then I'm gonna come back later on this evening, perform those 2 supersets there of your seated calf and your hanging leg raises, and then perform your other 30-minute cardio session, and then you're done for the day, and I'll meet you here tomorrow where we'll do it all over again.